Let's listen to Martn Maldonado and Jose Altuve as they address the media on Sunday morning at spring training. The special edition of Locked on Astros starts right now.
Alvarez hits a high drive center field. Beerling's back. This game is turned upside down. There's the runner. Fly ball down the right field line. Tucker comes on. Kyle Tucker. This time they finish the job.
Hello and welcome to Locked on Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chansey.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked on Astros. This is a YouTube-only edition of Locked on Astros, a little extra edition. I went ahead and grabbed some of the interviews that Martn Maldonado and Jose Altuve did in the locker rooms Sunday morning, February 19th at spring training at the West Palm Beach Ballpark Complex where the Astros and Nationals share a field. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me at Htown Wheelhouse on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find the show at Locked on Astros on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, wherever you get your podcasts. That's right. And Stros 411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros. So I like to bring this stuff to you when they come out to us. We're able to put these up here. Just some raw footage from inside the clubhouse during spring training. Jose Altuve in his own words, Martn Maldonado in his own words, just hearing how they're feeling going into the season, Dana Brown and his confidence in Jose Altuve and what he had to say about that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with Martn Maldonado, and then I'll wrap that up with a few comments, and then we'll go into Jose Altuve. This you're probably watching after Eric and I mentioned some of these quotes and some of these lines from our episode on Sunday evening. So hopefully you've come back and you're watching this. So here's the full interview and what they had to say.
I've been in the game for 50 years. I think it's accomplishment that he just say that. Guy been working with a lot of good catchers in his career, and just to get that title off him, I think it is really good.
Ryan Presley says he's never seen anyone work as hard as you do, the preparation, the attention to detail. What do you think about that coming from your closer?
They see the hard work I do. They see the work I do on the range and before games, all that stuff. And I'm happy that I got the staff. They believe on me. They tell us what I do, and they feel confident. Whatever I call is, we think is the right pitch.
There are a lot of young players in camp, but you had two by your side today. I think they're probably too young for a minor league contract. How cool is it to have your two kids?
That's the best. It's about, sometimes we forget this is just a game. I know we get paid for this game, but at the end of the day, you try to get, your kids involved. Especially we spend so much time here. I think, when you got a chance just to bring them in and say hi to the teammates and all this stuff, it's always fun.
Have you given much thought to how much longer you want to play this game?
Oh, not yet. Oh, you want me to retire yet?
No.
Oh, no. I think, my body will decide. Body feel good, healthy, and I know I got a couple more years, maybe. I don't think we'll decide more on my family. My kids growing up. I think they're gonna name me. They are 5 and 3 right now. I think so. Because every time I leave the house, it's harder and harder. So I think it's more on them than how my body feels. So.
Is managing in your future someday, do you think?
Of course it is. I think it's a preparation. You gotta, for be a good manager, you have to be prepared for that. And that, it's not like you're gonna retire and the next year you're gonna be manager. I think you gotta go through process. Bench coach and coach, whatever it is, just to be. If you want to be successful, that's my thoughts on it. So I think it's something that I'm looking forward, but I haven't given much thoughts. I'm still learning from, Dusty and other managers that I have.
And no, I don't want you to retire. Just asking questions.
All right, just checking.
My brother.
Martn, I've got a 5-3 over as well. It's not time for anything on the TV other than Disney Plus. But Game 6, you had the whole World Series run. You had a different view dugout behind the plate. Did you have a chance to go back and watch any of those games, the final out, the final minutes? What is it like for a guy who's there?
Actually, I have a chance to watch those games, but I have pretty good memory and a good view of the seat. So, I think after Jordan hit that homer, I think my tears started, breaking in from that moment on. So, it's a present moment. I think that's something that we work hard for, and we have a chance to do it again.
Martn, what does Jose Altuve mean to this team?
The face of the franchise. But I was, walk into there and I say, couldn't believe that little guy was one of the best hitters in the game.
You're still saying that?
Yeah. Who would have thought if somebody walking in the mall, I see a guy that, I see Altuve walking, don't know anything about baseball. You would have thought that guy is the face of the franchise of the Houston Astros. Nobody would have thought that.
Do you still find yourself in the dugout some nights when he's doing his thing and are looking around like, how did he do that?
Yeah, that guy, I think, he has a chance to get 3,000 hits, especially now the Chiefs going to be off. I think that guy, like I told him today, I think you're going to go back to hit 320, 330, just because it's not Chiefs. So that guy is, he's the mother of this clubhouse. Everybody excited every time we see him. And, we're looking forward to how another season next to him.
What about his work?
Man, you got to love Martn Maldonado in his words. I think I watched this interview 4 or 5 times, just listening to him talk about Jose Altuve being the face of the franchise, basically saying that, he's not planning on retiring right now. And I know that probably upsets a lot of the Maldi haters out there who just think he is done. They would have had Maldonado as the bullpen catcher last year, and make no mistake about it, the closer, Ryan Presley, the pitchers, we've talked to Ryan Stanek and the others. I've even talked to Corey Lee on a one-on-one basis, just outside of Constellation Field, talking about getting lessons from Martn. And then Luke Berryhill last year talked about how all the catchers from AA and AAA got to go up and meet with Castro and Maldonado and talk to them about catching, about planning out the game, working with the pitcher. And trust me, there's not any other catcher you want in this league other than Martn Maldonado, especially with the rule changes coming up with the pitch clock. I mean, that's going to be somewhat of a frustration, I'm sure, at times. And I think Martn Maldonado is a perfect guy to let that happen. Before we get on to the Jose Altuve interview, it's really good stuff. Let me just let you know that this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is the #1 sports book in America, and our partnership with them is second to none, just like FanDuel. It's an amazing app. It's safe, easy to use. I mean, it's a simple application. You can do same game parlays. It's midway through the NBA season. We've had the NBA All-Star game, NBA All-Star weekend. I mean, you probably had numbers where you could have gone for Damian Lillard. You could have gone for Mac McClung. I mean, that was an amazing dunk contest. But right now, if you go to Locked On, if you go to fanduel.com/locked on, you'll get a no sweat first bet on your first, and basically $1,000 in free bets if your first bet does not make or does not go the right way. You'll get that back. So make sure you go to fanduel.com/locked on to make every moment more at FanDuel, the #1 sports book in America. So Jose Altuve comes into camp. He shows up today, and I mean, it's like, okay, now we're ready. And of course, he's preparing for the World Baseball Classic. He's going to talk a little bit about representing, Venezuela, and how it's going to be tough competition against Puerto Rico, against the Dominican. I have the fortunate opportunity to go watch the Dominican Republic play against Israel while we are in spring training this year. So I'm looking forward to that. So without further ado, let's get to the GOAT, Jose Altuve, and see what he had to say.
wants to work to keep you and Alex Bregman here for life?
Yeah, no, I think I like when he said that. Obviously, I have been all my career here, and I hope to retire here. So I think we are on the same page. Yeah, happy to play with my teammates in Houston, with my fans, like I always say.
Jose, it's been this long. Have the years fly by for you?
Yes, I mean, I think I had a great off season, and but at the same time, happy to be here and just get ready for the season.
How special is it for you when you hear the general manager say something like that about you?
No, like I said, it's very special, and like I said, the most important thing is we are on the same page. I want to stay here, so it's really good to hear that.
Anything specific you worked on this off season to become even better than you are?
Yeah, no, a lot of things. A lot of hitting, defense. I want to become a better defensive player. Try to hit, the numbers I put last year in the regular season, and the most important thing is help stay healthy to help the guys win more games.
How do you think the lack of a shift will help, or how do you look at that stuff?
I don't know. I'm really, I got no expectations right now, so looking forward to do it and see how it's gonna be.
What are some of the stuff you and Jeremy have to work on with no more shift? I mean, does that change the dynamic of the middle of the field at all?
I think we're gonna talk about that in the next few days, and I think off season we just we're trying to relax, get some time off, and then I think spring training is for that, to get ready for the season and adjust the little things we need to.
How excited are you for the WBC?
I'm really excited. Represent my country. We got to get ready for that, play good. We have a great team, but we're also facing great teams like Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico in our same group, so it's not going to be easy, but like I said, we have a great team.
How does that change your preparation with the WBC right around the corner?
Just try to get ready a little earlier than normal. So I think that's just what it is. Playing the WBC is like playing playoff games in March. So you got to get ready for that and represent your country.
Jose, all you tell us that matters to you is winning. That's what motivates you. You guys won it all last year. What is it like coming back into the clubhouse onto the field after accomplishing the goal?
Yeah, I think there is still a little bit of conversation about what we did last year, but I really think in 2 more weeks we're just gonna focus 100% in this year. What we did last year is amazing. Obviously, everybody wants to win a World Series, but it's not we're gonna forget about it, but we're gonna put it aside a little bit to get ready and prepare the way we should and try to make it happen again this year.
Jose, Jeremy had a great season last year, well documented how he finished. What do you think, what kind of advice would you give him year 2 now as he makes the adjustments?
Just be the player he is. I think I told you guys that he have that type of superstar player on him. I said in spring training, and he showed up last year and put an amazing season. He won a Gold Glove, he won ALCS and World Series MVP, so it means a lot for us, for him, and I think he's going to have a great and long career.
Jose, what about the opportunity for y'all to be able to do something that hasn't been done in 23 years, went back to back?
Yeah, I think we got to go one game at a time, starting from today. I went out there today, try to get ready, and I think that's about what we want to do, go one game at a time, not thinking about playoff, because if you see we're facing, our division is really good. The Rangers, the Mariners, the Angels and Oakland A's are always good teams, really, competing teams, and so nothing is easy, so we got to get one game at a time.
Jose, no more, Verlander's gone, but this pitching staff is awfully strong, as you well know. What do you think about this group coming in this year?
Yeah, no, obviously Cy Young just left our team, but happy for him. He went somewhere else and got a great deal. But we got to move forward and focus on the guy we have here. We have a great team, and I think I'm happy for team and the young talent that's coming up, and not replace Justin, because it's really hard to replace a Hall of Famer like him. But I know we're gonna do it really good.
What was your reception when you went back to Venezuela, and why did you go back after a couple of years?
I saw my family, a family I don't see every day here, obviously, and got to visit some of the places I never got to visit when I was there, and I had an amazing time.
You've got a year left on your contract. Is
important to get an extension done this year, or like how important is that to you when you know you do
I
have a
think
year
that
left?
the important thing is right now is we are in the same page, like I just said a minute ago, and they said they want to keep me here. I want to stay here, so that's I think that's great for both sides. That like I said, just be in the same page.
I know you're on.
Yeah, I think I'm doing the same right now. I'm going public, telling people I want to stay here. So, same thing. Yeah.
Jose, got to berate you over at first base now. Can you address the acquisition of him and what he's going to mean at first base?
Obviously, great player, MVP a couple of years ago. He he can hit. Obviously, we're gonna miss Yuli. He was a big part of our success. But at the same time, we're happy to have Jose Abreu, who's a great player, and we heard he's a great leader, great guy inside the clubhouse, and he's gonna fit good in this clubhouse, and I think we're gonna be a good team.
What's the key with?
There you go, Jose Altuve, in his own words, the GOAT, the man of the hour, who I still see him. Obviously, he's on a Hall of Fame track. I know a lot of people are talking about him, not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. But I think when it's all said and done, if the Astros during his career can win another World Series or even two, and he's a part of those teams, he's going to be very, very difficult to keep him off, even with 2017. I just, to me, it would be intellectually dishonest and really one of the ultimate thumbing of the noses of the baseball writers, who we know they tend to vote sometimes. I guess I don't know if they hold grudges. I know that there are players that don't treat the media well, and sometimes they take it out on them if they're up for a Hall of Fame type vote. And Altuve's never done that, and that's what I love about him, is he's been consistent throughout his entire career. But he wants to be an Astro for life. He is the guy that I see the next Astros statue being put up of. Like, if Altuve doesn't get a statue, I mean, wow, like, you need to give him a statue. Now, I know we got the Biggio Bagwell one, or second and first. Where would you put it? What would it be of him doing? Maybe hitting a home run, more than likely, I think, because of his famous home runs off of Chapman, Yankees, and any other pitcher that's tried to foil our plan with Jose Altuve. But he had some great things to say. He is working on just taking off. I know I read an article earlier where Martn Maldonado basically said, he told Altuve, look, you're gonna hit 320, 340 this year. I mean, you just continue to improve and get better. And I think Jose Altuve is going to have one of those great years. So thanks for sticking around for both interviews. Just wanted to share those with y'all. We like to do this because during spring training, we have the opportunity to grab these sound bites, and we want to make them available to y'all. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give us a like. Make sure you go and listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And after you make us your first listen, make sure you make Locked On MLB Prospects your second listen, because host Lindsey Crosby is a minor league baseball encyclopedia talking about the stars of tomorrow, and the Astros have plenty. And go look at his recent episode he just did, talking about Hunter Brown, Justin Dearden, talking about who the Astros have in the pipeline, because we've got Drew Gilbert, we've got Pedro Leon. There are so many names in the minor leagues. Forrest Whitley has added a pitch, and so on and so forth. So thank you for tuning in to Locked On Astros. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. Y'all have a good one. We look forward to seeing you. Now we're back to 5 days a week, and baseball is here.